The lights dim, but the tension doesn't. Before a single word is spoken, you can feel it. A silence hangs heavy in the studio. Not the calm kind, but the kind that comes before something breaks. The camera slowly pushes in. Cristiano Ronaldo sits still, composed, sharp. But his eyes, they're carrying something deeper tonight. Not just confidence, not just pride, something unresolved. Across from him, Piers Morgan leans forward, hands folded, watching carefully. Not just as a host, but as someone who knows this conversation is going to go somewhere most interviews never dare. And then Piers breaks the silence. So why now? A simple question. But the weight behind it lands like thunder. Ronaldo exhales softly. A pause. A long one. The kind that tells you this isn't rehearsed. This is the right moment, he says quietly. And just like that, the story begins. The audience isn't there physically, but you can almost hear them. Millions watching across the world, leaning closer to their screens. Because this isn't just another football interview. This is personal. Piers shifts slightly in his seat. You've had a legendary career, he says, voice calm but probing. But recently, things haven't looked the same. What changed? Another pause. Ronaldo looks down for a brief second, then back up. I feel betrayed. The words cut through the air. Not loud, not aggressive, but sharp enough to echo. Piers doesn't interrupt. He lets it sit. Betrayed by who? He asks carefully. Ronaldo's jaw tightens. His expression hardens, not in anger but in controlled frustration. By the club, he says. By some people around me, who don't want me there. There it is. The first crack in the armor. The camera cuts closer. You can see the detail now. The subtle tension in his face, the way his fingers interlock, then release. This isn't performance. This is real. Piers leans in further. You're talking about Manchester United, he says. A club where you became a global icon. That's a strong statement. Ronaldo nods slowly. Yes. No hesitation. The room feels smaller now. More intense. Since Sir Alex Ferguson left, Ronaldo continues, voice steady but edged with disappointment, I saw no evolution. Nothing changed. There's no dramatic music here. It doesn't need it. The truth is carrying everything. Piers watches closely, sensing the shift. So you're saying the club hasn't progressed? He asks. I expected more, Ronaldo replies. Not just for me, but for the fans. There's something different in his tone now. Less anger. More hurt. And for a moment, the world's most confident athlete looks human. The camera lingers. You can almost feel the weight of expectations, legacy, and pressure pressing down from every direction. Piers pauses before his next question, a deliberate choice. Because now, the conversation isn't just about football. It's about identity, respect, and something much deeper. Do you feel, Piers begins slowly, that people are trying to push you out? Ronaldo doesn't answer immediately. Instead, he leans back slightly, eyes narrowing as if replaying moments in his mind. Training sessions, decisions, conversations behind closed doors. Then, yes, he says. Simple, direct, unavoidable. The tension spikes. Even through a screen, you can feel it. Because this isn't just a headline anymore. This is a confrontation, unfolding in real time. Piers takes a breath. You're one of the greatest players in history, he says. Why would anyone want that? Ronaldo's lips tighten into a faint, almost ironic smile. I don't know, he replies. But I feel it. And that's when the tone changes again. Because now, it's no longer just about facts. It's about perception, emotion, trust, the invisible things that shape everything behind the scenes. The camera slowly circles, capturing the stillness between them. Two men, one asking questions, the other finally answering them. But beneath it all, there's a growing sense that this interview is building towards something bigger, something explosive. Piers senses it too. He adjusts his posture, voice lowering just slightly. Let's talk about your relationship with the current manager, he says. A pause. Longer this time. Ronaldo doesn't look away, but his expression shifts subtly, unmistakably. And in that moment, you know the real storm hasn't even started yet. The air changes. Not suddenly, but unmistakably. The kind of shift you don't hear, you feel. Piers Morgan doesn't rush the moment. He lets the silence stretch, knowing what's coming next could define everything that's already been said. Let's talk about your relationship with the manager, he repeats, softer this time. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't move at first. Then slowly he leans forward. There's no anger in his face. Just clarity. I don't have respect for him, Ronaldo says. And just like that, everything explodes. Not in noise, but in impact. Because this is the line no one expected him to cross so directly. Piers blinks, almost imperceptibly. Even he knows, this isn't just another headline anymore. This is a moment that will echo far beyond this room. Why? He asks carefully. Not challenging, but inviting the truth to go further. Ronaldo's eyes stay locked. Because he doesn't show respect for me. No hesitation. No softening. Just honesty, raw and unfiltered. The silence that follows is heavier than anything before. You can almost feel millions of viewers reacting at the exact same time. Phones lighting up. Messages being typed. Clips already being cut and shared. But here, inside this conversation, time slows down. Piers leans back slightly, processing. You're talking about Eric Ten Hag, he says, making it explicit. Ronaldo nods once. Yes, a single word. But it lands like a headline written in stone. The camera lingers on Ronaldo's face, calm, composed but no longer guarded. This is a man who has decided to say everything. No filters left. Piers shifts direction slightly, his tone more reflective now. There are people who will say, this is damaging. That speaking like this could close doors. Ronaldo lets out a small breath, almost a quiet laugh, but without humor. I'm not here to please people, he says. I'm here to tell the truth. And there it is. The core of everything. Not just frustration. Not just conflict. But conviction. Piers studies him for a moment, then asks the question many are already thinking. Do you regret anything? This time, the pause is different. Not tense. Not defensive. Reflective. Ronaldo looks down briefly, then back up. No, he says. And for the first time in the entire interview, there's a sense of finality in his voice. Like a chapter closing in real time. The conversation begins to slow, but the weight of it only grows heavier. They talk about his legacy, his standards, the expectations he carries, not just from fans, but from himself. I set the bar high, Ronaldo says. Maybe too high for some people. There's no arrogance in the way he says it. Just truth. The kind that comes from years at the very top, where staying there becomes harder than getting there. Piers nods. You've always demanded excellence, he says. Yes, Ronaldo replies. Because I give it. A simple exchange. But it says everything. The camera pulls back slightly now, widening the frame. The intensity softens, but the impact lingers. Because everyone watching knows, this wasn't just an interview. This was a turning point. Piers glances toward the crew for a split second, then back at Ronaldo. After this, he asks, what happens next? Ronaldo pauses. Not because he doesn't know, but because the answer doesn't need many words. We'll see, he says. And somehow, that uncertainty feels more powerful than any declaration. The interview ends without a dramatic goodbye. No forced smiles. No light jokes to ease the tension. Just a quiet understanding that something significant has just happened. And then the world reacts. Clips flood social media within minutes. Debates ignite across studios, podcasts, and timelines. Fans are divided. Some stand with Ronaldo, praising his honesty, his courage to speak openly. Others question the timing, the impact, the consequences. Pundits analyze every word, every pause, every expression. Headlines spread across the globe. Not exaggerated, not twisted, just amplified. Because the words themselves were enough. And at the center of it all, Cristiano Ronaldo. A player who built his legacy on control, discipline, and perfection. Choosing for one night to let the world see something different. Not just the icon, but the man behind it. And as the lights fade and the cameras shut off, one thing becomes clear. This wasn't just a conversation. It was a moment that changed the narrative. Forever.